Hello, and welcome back to the Lavelle Time Works YouTube channel. We are working on this Omega 1152. We're doing reassembly, and we're doing it in sections and phases, following along with the tech sheet that I've got. And this is basically assembling the gear train. This is what's going to make the watch tick. Already got the barrel assembled, put together. Cap jewels taken care of. I don't need to mess with that on video right now. We're just trying to show this all going together. If you do want to see that done though, obviously I can make a separate video. I think I mentioned it in the last one. If you haven't watched the last episode or the watch being disassembled, make sure you guys check that out. Don't forget to subscribe. This watch is coming apart again. There are a few pieces that are still a little bit rusted. They just have little traces of, like, just a little teeny spot of rust. Doesn't affect the function of the watch at all, but I do want to remove that completely. And just on hand, I don't have anything gentle enough, as it were, that I would like to use for that. Got some polishing equipment on the way. Well, I say equipment, I just mean new bits for a Dremel or a flex shaft, whatever you want to say. Yeah, but here we are. Reassembling the gear train. Don't need to follow the tech sheet as closely for this stuff. I hope I know how a gear train goes together. So hopefully. And this one here, this actually is like our offset center wheel. On the other side of this watch, that post, that pivot actually gets a gear friction fit to it. This might be a shorter video. Like I said, I'm doing these in phases and sections, both just time constraints and making things easier. I'm able to lay out all the parts that I need. Everything else is put away. Just what I need is right in front of me. Just makes things easier. Stuff doesn't get mixed up or lost or broken. This right here is a very simple method of stopping the balance wheel, the hacking. So that's actually when you pull out the stem all the way, that'll stop the balance wheel so the watch stops ticking. That way you can set it precisely. Pretty cool feature. Let's see here. You go this way. A lot of things to line up here. No pressure. Don't put pressure on this. We need to line up. Never mind. There we go. I was about to say we're gonna have to line up and try to hold this down without squeezing it, without pressing it down, and then go in there and adjust each of the pivots to drop into place. But cooperated today. So there is that, and then we got to do some lubrication on the different spots here in the gear train. And I need to put some screws in. Part of me is wondering if I grabbed the wrong screws here. This was only in the section. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try. One goes there, one goes there, one goes here. If I'm not mistaken. This is one of those deals where the screws are slightly different, but to me they all look the same. Do those look too small? Does that look too small? Let me grab this other screw. That looks more the right size. That one there. That's wrong. That's wrong. It was the right number of screws, just the wrong size there. Or is it? Are those the right screws? I was going to make a comment how I've got 6 screws lined up right here, and supposedly 3 are the same, 2 are the same, and then there's a sole different one. This doesn't look, that doesn't look right, but I'm not seeing any other set of a bunch of screws to possibly have different here. The only thing I can think of is this. Those 3, but I don't need 3. I need 2. Well, quite the situation we have here, huh? And again, I laid everything out so nice and neat and organized. Let me, you know what? I bet you that single one actually doesn't fit there either. I think I know what that's for. So I do need 3. I think this goes on the ratchet wheel. 2 of these go to that. 4 of these are left over, so I'm going to just put those to the side for now. Everything I was just saying about having the right pieces laid out, and here we are. Now again, of course, I could edit this, and by edit this, I mean restart, but might as well keep it all in. We can have a chat and hang out for a bit. So what I'm wondering is, this goes this way. No, this goes this way. 1, 2. And it matches. I think this uses the same stuff. 2. Okay. Now it's too big, so that's for something else. If I recall, on disassembly, there was a screw that was actually out of place. Again, if you haven't seen it, I I recommend checking that one out. Actually, I find it a little humorous. I think I got these screws right now. Apologies for mixing that up. And one of the screws, it was one of these 3 screws. These seem better. I'm going to try it. Hopefully I'm not completely messing this up. But yeah, so one of these 3 screws, and I forget exactly which one it was, had come out, and it was tucked away in a very interesting spot. which I found it hilarious. Well, say this, these are threading nicely. And the heads seem wide enough that that's real. We're gonna go with that. Seeing some. It could just be a scuff plate there. Yeah, back on track here. Trying to keep things in motion here. Let's oil and lubricate while we're here. Barrel arbor there. Making sure I'm doing this all right here. Okay. Pardon the hand. That was our Mobius D5, which is I use HP 1300. Alright, so that's the upper side. I believe this is called upper. It's weird because when you're looking at a watch, this is actually the lower. But I think they call this the upper side. It's all moving as intended. Is a great sign. I like it. I love it. Got this wheel with the jewel in it, and apparently, again, no lubrication. I don't know why, but they say. Another wheel here. This is our winding. And again, interesting choice here that it wants an oil. I just put a nice healthy amount of there. Didn't see. It wants oil, not a grease. On the bottom of this here, there's two little bumps that stick out. You line those up, that all drops in. That helps keep it in place there. I've got 2 screws for that. Which again, I've got 6 screws that are all the same, but according to the tech sheet, they're different. Make sure your screws are threaded properly before you go moving stuff there. A bit of excess oil on the top. There we go. And then this will give us our actual winding and power. And here's another wheel where it's fully clean, and I've taken some pegwood to it, but it's still not perfectly shiny. As you can see, like right here on the edge, like this has more of a shine. This kind of has a duller look to it, and I'm sure you see it on some of the other pieces. Again, I'm not trying to hide anything from you guys. Look, the click just sets right in place. Don't even have to fight with it. What was I saying? Again, when I get those polishing pieces in, like I said, they're just little bits for a Dremel or flex shaft, whatever you have. Okay, I want that snug. I'm not going to try to fight it into that to screw down any tighter. Winding works. And as you can see, it also has a little, I think that's called backlash or something. But it winds, and then it runs it out. And then if you can see right at the end there, I don't know if this will show up on video, but like watch this. It's our fourth wheel there. Yeah, it's our fourth wheel. Right? Yeah, it spins one way, and then right at the end there, how it spins the other way. So it's spinning counterclockwise, and then it spins clockwise at the end there, which I believe is a good sign. I believe that's what you're looking for. All right, so we got the pallet fork, bridge. Always a fun time. Yeah, so again, full honesty, I do see that some of these parts, they're not as shiny or completely spotless as I would like. Again, history of this watch, of this movement. I got this watch with the pusher off. It was broken off. Watch has obviously seen some use. There was a screw completely dislodged. Again, there's me trying to not use too much pressure. You don't want to snap anything. So I have no idea the exact state of this movement. It does look promising that it will work. And with some TLC here, hopefully it works well. Obviously there was a little bit of rust, so maybe some of the spots that aren't coming as clean as I would like with I would say a standard cleaning. Checking over, like I said, using pegwood and stuff, and it's still not fully spotless. Again, that winds, and then if you turn the crown the other way, that way nothing breaks. That is working. I don't want to wind it too much. And if we get in on the palette here again, it'd also be kind of nice with a gentler polishing. Like, see how there's like some fine scratches on like the palette fork there? It would be kind of fun to go in and clean some of that stuff up. I do plan on selling this watch, so I want to make it look as good as I can. But I also don't want to spend way too much time on it. That looks like it's working nicely. Now this is honestly one of my favorite spots to work on. And I'm going to try, there's right here is where I'm going to be working. Hopefully this shows up. This one is one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite spots. This is that grease at 9415. And I don't know if you can fully see that with the lighting. Just a little bit of grease on the end of that pallet fork stone. I like to run it about 5 clicks, 5 teeth. I'll put a little more on. Get a little more grease on that. And this should be enough. Maybe do one more. But over time, that'll work itself across all those teeth. So, for the intent and purpose of this video, I think that is fine. Got our balance here, and this should pretty much straightforward with this all here. Should be straightforward, but of course, always something. Oh, do you see it tick for? There we go. Yeah, just want to make sure that's all sitting nicely. Make sure that's not going anywhere. And with this here, I do put a little bit of pressure on this one. I want to make sure that this is lined up and sitting how it's supposed to. That as I tighten the screw here, as I tighten that screw, I'm not introducing new pressure to like the pivot on the balance wheel. Break the pivot or potentially crush a jewel or bend something. Play it safe. But that is this section done. I've got 4 mystery screws sitting over here. I'll figure out where they go. Again, cleaning basket and just mixing and matching. It's been a couple days since I cleaned it. I filmed the disassembling one day. I should be filming the assembly all today. That looks like it works. I do still have to oil this other side, so we might as well. Yeah, I don't know why I had you put that wheel on if you're just going to flip it over anyway. Now, of course, the tech sheet would have you believe that you need to oil the jewels from the other side, but I'm going to do it normal, how I normally do it. Blue there, blue there. Already did the barrel. Okay. Weird. If I'm reading this tech sheet right, I should be using the thicker oil for the escape wheel on the main plate side, and then the lighter oil on the bridge side. Weird. I don't know if that's just a typo. Somebody maybe mixed something up, or maybe I'm just looking at that picture wrong and it's blending in or something. No, it looks like it's the, yeah. Um, Flip this back around again. Everything's looking good so far. It is time for me to go get breakfast. You are hearing that right. I woke up and first thing I'm doing before breakfast anyway is work on a watch. What a way to start your day, huh? Yep, everything's looking good so far there. At this point, I could check it on the time graph. Of course, there's more sections to add that will affect timing. I have to believe it's going to affect timing to a degree. Almost 100%. But yeah, things are looking good so far. That's it for this one. Phase 2. Gear train installed, complete. And I just know that the next piece we're going to put on is there's a little strip of metal, a piece of plastic that goes right here, and it supports the central chronograph runner. That's got to be the first piece. Again, thanks for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Check out the other videos. Check out what's led up to this point if you want to see this entire process. It is quite the process indeed. But I'm happy with that so far. Until I get the polishing stuff so I can actually clean this up better and knock out the rest of that rust. So, but I'm going to keep trucking along, make sure this thing runs well, wear it for a bit, and then eventually put it up for sale. So that's another story for another day. Thanks for watching. Give the video a thumbs up. Comments appreciated. If you have some criticisms, please feel free. Just be respectful. Don't be rude. I'm all for criticism. You can tell me I'm doing something wrong. Just do it in a nice way. That's all I ask. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys next time.